acid, bases and salts. Now in this lesson fully we are studying about acids separately, bases separately and salts separately. Okay, now you might have come across acids and bases in the previous lesson, but you might not have studied about them detailedly, right? So now in this lesson we will clearly differentiate what is acid, bases and salts. Okay, so it's a small lesson, we can finish it. Now let's first study about acids. Okay, now in the first page you can see there are some bottles of acids. You can see hydrochloric acid, nitric acid and sulfuric acid. Okay, they have given. So these are some of the very usual acids we are using in the lab. Okay, to do some experiments we will be using them. Now there are also acids, if you take, we can categorize them: strong acids and weak acid. Now you know generally acids means it's dangerous, right? It can burn you out. Strong acids will burn you out. Okay, they are very much harmful, but weak acids are not very harmful. Okay, now weak acids you can find in lime juice we have citric acid, that's a weak acid. Then vinegar also has acid, we call it acetic acid, that's also a weak acid. Weak acids are not much harmful, you can consume also. Now lime juice and all, we make juice and drink, right? So weak acids are not that harmful. Strong acids are harmful, we have to handle with care when we are using them in the labs. Now let's see what is an acid. Now this definition is very important. End of the page they have said a question, what is an acid? So they can ask a question like that also, so you should be able to write the meaning. An acid is a compound that releases hydrogen ions in an aqueous medium. Hydrochloric acid ionizes as follows and releases H plus ions. That means if a compound, okay, if you dissolve in water, if they can release H plus ion, we call it what? An acid. Okay. In the next page you see in the top, page 191, they have given the equation. HCl has been dissociated to what? H plus and Cl minus. Okay, so those are the ions present in that compound, H plus and Cl minus. Now when HCl has been dissolved in the aqueous medium, that means in water, it has released what? H plus. Since it is releasing H plus, it is considered as what? An acid. Okay, that's a basic definition for an acid. Now same way I said, no, acids we can divide into two, strong acids and weak acids. So that is depending on how well they can release this H plus. Now you understood the fact, right? If you release H plus, it is an acid. Okay, that part is clear now? If a compound is releasing H plus ions in aqueous medium, that is acid. Now we can categorize acid into two, strong acids and weak acids. Now we will see how we are categorizing. Now if a compound is giving all the H plus to the medium, now when I am putting HCl in water and I am dissolving it, it's giving all the H plus to the aqueous medium, then we call it a strong acid. Strong acids only have that capability, they can release all the H plus to the aqueous medium. Okay, now we call this ionization because the compound is breaking down to ions now. H plus, Cl minus, they are ions. Compound breaking down to ions, so we call this ionization. Now if the ionization is complete, fully all the H plus is coming to the medium, that is what we call strong acids. Now let's read and see. Strong acids, the acids that release H plus ions by complete ionization in aqueous medium are strong acids. It means that all such acid molecules are dissociated into H plus ions and the corresponding negative ions in water. For example, in an aqueous solution of hydrochloric acid, which is a strong acid, there are only H plus ions and Cl minus ions, but no free HCl molecules. Now as soon as you put a strong acid, okay, for the water, HCl is a strong acid, no, it will break into what? H plus and Cl minus. Now hereafter can you find free HCl? No, because it has fully broken down, because it's a strong acid. Okay, strong acid only has this capability. Okay, so you have to very well remember this idea. Okay, completely undergoing ionization. Now see the examples. HCl aqueous is breaking down into H plus and Cl minus. sulfuric acid, see, that is H2SO4. So that is breaking down into H plus and SO4 2 minus. Now SO4 2 minus you have learned in grade 10 third lesson. Okay, that's the ions. So here you can see why they have put 2H plus, because this side you have 2 hydrogens. Can you see? H2SO4. They have balanced it. Okay. So hydrochloric acid is a strong acid. Sulfuric acid is a strong acid. Next one is what? Nitric acid. HNO3. So that is broken down into what? H plus and NO3 minus. Now always H plus is the positive ion. So other one will be what? Negative ion. Positive and negative only will attract and form the compound. Okay. So strong acids, they will fully dissociate, fully ionize, and you won't find the compound. In the solution you will have the ions. Understood strong acids? Clear, right? So you should remember the meaning and the examples. Okay. Now let's see.
Can you say me another one?
Sorry?
Strong acid, one more time explain.
Strong acids. Okay, when you take strong acids, now HCl I'll take for an example. Okay. So when you dissolve HCl in water, what happens is it breaks down into the ions H plus and Cl minus.
Yes.
Okay. What happens is it is fully breaking down. You won't find free HCl molecules. Finally, once the ionization, once you completely dissolve, in the solution you will have only H plus ions and Cl minus ions. The compound now HCl was together, right? But now that's broken. You can't find now HCl together because it's a strong acid. Strong acids will completely undergo ionization. Fully it will release the ions. Okay? That is the idea between strong acids. Now weak acids you will understand that's the opposite, no? It will not do like that. See the weak acid definition. The acids which release H plus ions in aqueous medium by incomplete or partial ionization. See, not complete, partial or incomplete. Okay, we call them as what? Weak acids. That means will they fully break down for ions? No, only partially. Only half of the H plus it will give. And some compounds also you can find. Understood? So that is what we call weak acid. That is the opposite of strong acids. This means that in aqueous medium, only a fraction of such acid molecules are dissociated into H plus ions and relative negative ions. The unionized molecules remain as molecules themselves in aqueous solution. So example for weak acid are acetic acid, carbonic acid, phosphoric acid.